Welcome to a book review with Aarya. Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a brand new video which I have not done on this channel ever. And that is a book recommendations or a book review video. And I want to thank you all so much for getting me to 18 subscribers. I'm so grateful for all of that. And just a quick disclaimer that the comments are on all of my coding videos, but not on my Atlanta video. I don't know why, but I'll see if I can get them on today's video, the book recommendation video, so you all can see if they're on, and please go ahead and comment below. And before we begin, again, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with everybody you know. So let's begin. And these books are just purely one of my favorite collections of books, I could say. And some of these are series, some of these aren't series, and some I've got from the library. Some of these books I have read, and some of them I haven't. So this is just going to be a thing of all of the books that I own, and the books that I've read, and the books I have yet to read, so I can show all of them to you. And I want to show you guys all of the books that I have currently. Look at this. This is a whole pile of books right here. That is one pile. And then we have two more piles of books over here. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm so fascinated by this. So first, I'm going to tell you guys the genre of the books that I like to read, or the types of books I read. Okay, don't get mad at me, but I don't like Harry Potter. I don't. I feel like it's so overrated, and it's just not my type. The books that I like to read are realistic fiction, or just some lighthearted fantasy books. I'm not that big of a fan of fantasy, but I am a heart dive fan of any books which are realistic fiction, or just realistic biographies and stuff like that. So today I actually went to the library and picked up some of the books that I had in order. So let me show you those first. And these books which I'm going to be showing you guys are the books that I have not read yet. So I can't tell you a lot about it, but except for just the gist that I may have gotten, reading the books and reading the titles, not the titles, the descriptions of them. So let's begin with the library book collection. So the first book that I got was this book, which is called Indian No More, and it is by Charlene Willing McManus and Tracy Sorrell. Sorry if I pronounce any of these names wrong, but this is the book Indian No More. And again, I haven't read this, but by the gist of it, it's about Regina Petit, who is a Native American, or I could say a Native Indian American, and it's about her going through her life as just a person who the U.S. government has taken out of the recreational Native camp, and she's looking for her home, and she's just trying to find where she actually belongs. So that is the number one book, and I'll let you guys know in future videos how I feel about this book as well. The next book that I have is this book, which is Fish and a Tree. This book is from my school library, and it's by Linda Molly Hunt. And I've actually read this one before. It is about a girl named Allie who is dyslexic, and she has ADHD. And she usually gets making fun of at school, and then her teacher goes on a leave, her actual teacher, and then a long-term substitute comes in, and he really helps her find who she is and find who she likes and who she wants to be in her life. So that is the book, Fish in a Tree, a novel. And I've read just halfway through this book, not much, so I can't tell you a lot of that either, but future videos. Again, and then this one I have from the public library, which is called It's Not Like It's a Secret by Misa Sugiura. I'm not sure again. And then this book, let me just see. Okay, so this is again about a person moving from one place to another place. She moves to California, and she has no friends, no best friends or anything, and it's kind of like a high school teenager, like a tween to teenage type of a novel. So if you guys are into that, this is a good book as well. I haven't read it, but I can assure that. And then this book, I am so excited to read this book. This is so inspirational, and I absolutely love it. It is called Because I Was a Girl, and this book, I know what it has, but I haven't read it. It has stories from all of these really awesome women here, girls who have strived to make their life the best as they can. Some of the women stories which are here are Tina Hay, Jodie Hauser, Libba Bray, Katie Button, Tilly Walden, Lenore Zion, Zoe Luna, and a lot more. And I think this is just so inspirational, and I really got triggered by this face of a girl with all of these people. And I think all of these are the ones who speak or write in the book as well. So I'm super excited to be reading this book as well. And then the last book, which is from the library, is a horror novel. Again, so this is a horror novel, but I will categorize it again as a realistic fiction book because I don't know, it's horror, but it also has real people in real life, so I can't even categorize it as realistic fiction or fantasy, so I guess I'll just say it's a horror book. It is called There Is Someone Inside Your House, and it is written by Stephanie Perkins. And then I read the inside cover right over here about this book, and it's about a girl named Makini Young who just came to live with her grandmother in Nebraska, and she joins a small high school. And after a while of she's just settling in, a lot of her high school friends have started to die. Yes, started to die. And the series of the death is they've all been murdered to death, and now this girl just feels very scared, and now she has to face all of this and reveal her darkest, deepest secrets to find out what happens to her friends. And this is a thriller and a horror novel book as well. So if you guys want to read any of these, I would highly recommend them as well. Now moving on to some of the books that I already have, which is these books. Sorry. So let's get into those books as well. Okay, I'm back now. And two of these books, which I have at home, are fantasy books. I like these books. And I don't know. I said I don't like fantasy, but I like these two books. So I think I don't know how to describe myself as a reader, but let me show you guys the books. This is called The Wishbreaker. This is actually a two series book. This is the first book. I'm still yet to read the second book of this, but it's called The Wishbreaker by, this is the author of the Janitor series, which I have not read, but it seems like a really famous series, so I want to read that as well. But it is by Tyler Whitesides, and it's about this friend group of two boys. I'm not going to spoil their name because their names have a lot to do with the story, but they go and there's this big school library which they have, and there's these wish makers as well as the wish breakers who come and accumulate. They either make their wishes come true or make their wishes break down, and they realize that there's more wish breakers than more wish makers, so now they're on the quest to find what actually is happening with the wish makers. So, wish breakers. I love this book. The next book is a 2-series book as well. It is called, I think it's 2 series only. Yeah, it's 2 series. So the first book is called, wait, so there's 2 books. They're from the same author and the same everything, but just it's a series. And the first book of the series is Confidentially Yours, Brooke's Not So Perfect Plan. I haven't read these books. I got them, but I haven't read them. But I know that this one is a really soccer person, a really athletic one, fashionista, a nerd. I know that, and they worked for this Lincoln Log paper, which is their school's paper, and yeah. So that's the first book, and I haven't read the second book either, but it's called Confidentially Yours, Vanessa's Fashion Face-Off. And I'm also excited to read both of these books, so yeah. Okay, the next fantasy book, which I would categorize as going with the Wishbreaker, is The Collectors. So okay, and it's like these collectors collect wishes from your brain at night, put them into potions, and they make them potions, and make those potions come to you, make you drink them, and if you say a bad word, like not exactly a bad word, but if you say wrong thing and the collectors collect that word, that wish can be super dangerous to you. And I love this. And this gives like really a good thing to the story. This one, it says even the smallest wish can be dangerous. Remember that when reading The Collectors. And this is a Schneider Family Book Award honor book, so it is a really great book. Now, this is a horror book as well. It's called Ghost Boys, and it's by Joelle Parker Rhodes. This is about Jerome and Joelle, who have died, and this is their afterlife book about them as ghosts and looking down at the people who are still alive, looking into what they're doing and what happens. And these 2 boys had died in a tragic car accident. And it switches between the point of view of Jerome and then the point of view of Joelle. And I got this from my school. They gave it to us for the end of the year. But Ghost Boys, and again, there's like a small little thing that really gets you into the story. I'll read that out. Time to wake up. I spin around. Who said that? Across the street, I see him, wispy like soft rain, a ghost like me. It's a really hard story to not to spoil, but I'm trying to control myself and not spoil too much, but Ghost Boys. Okay, now this is a super duper classic book. Dogman, we have Dogman. I like Dogman. This is Dogman, The Tale of Two Kitties. I don't think I have to explain too much about this book, but if you haven't read Dogman books, I recommend them. They're so funny. They're just so lighthearted, and they're comics. So if you guys like comics, you can for sure read these. They're amazing. And there's this cool feature which they add to practically all of their books. And you guys can see I've used this a lot. I have to tape them. But it's like it's like a flipperama. Let me see if I can put this camera in some way that I can show you. Okay, so you put your left hand here, and then your right thumb here, and then when you have to flip it really, really hard, and you get a whole new, like a dimension of it. So the first one visual here is Dogman brushing the kitty's teeth, and it's so funny. Next one is Dogman putting the kitty to sleep. And the last one is the kitty sleeping and Dogman kissing her. I think it's so nice. So if you guys read Dogman, this is the key part of any Dogman book. Next up, I have another comic book. It is called Awkward. Oh, sorry, and Dogman is by Dave Pikely, also the creator of Captain Underpants. Yeah. Okay, and then this book is another comic book, novel, whatever, and it's called Awkward by Svetlana Shmakova. I don't know how to say that, but it's by her, and it's awkward, and this is about a girl named Penelope who's moved into a new school, and then at the first day of school, it's kind of like a middle school crush novel, but she bumps into this boy, and then they both somewhat like each other, and Penelope she's like a more of a left-minded thinker, and then the boy is more of a right-minded thinker, and it's really funny. And she joins the art club, and he joins the robotics club, and only one of those clubs can still stay in the place, and it's really interesting to see how both clubs really fight each other. I would say there's a little bit of tinky bit of like crushy things, but really just two clubs fighting. Highly recommend this. 5 out of 5. Next books. So these 3 books are these we'll get to last. These are the most realistic books, most historical realistic books. One of them isn't, so I'll share with you guys some of these as well. And I think these are super. So the first book, this is not historical, but this is not in a very good condition. I've read it, and it's not in a very good condition because of me. I admit it, but it's still readable. I really like it. And it's the book Blended by Sharon M. Draper. And it's the New York Times bestselling author of Out of My Mind. So if you've ever read that book, Out of My Mind, it is amazing. It's by the same author, so I can guarantee that this is amazing as well. So this is about an 11-year-old girl named Isabella, and she is the daughter of a African American man and a white woman, and they recently get a divorce, and her dad moved away far from where her and her mom live, but then her dad moves closer to get in custody of her as well. So now, after the dad moves closer to Isabella and her mom, the mom and the dad both have custody of Isabella, and she has to go 1 week at her mom's, 1 week at her dad's, and by switching, she doesn't get to find who she actually is. Like, is she this? Is she the person who she is at her dad's house, or is she the person who is at her mom's house? And this is just a book of her trying to find her actual true personality, her reality, and just of that. And this picture right here gives out really a lot about this. So, and since she's the daughter of an African American and a white, she is of course mixed. Like her skin color isn't exactly one. She's a mixed. And as you can see, so that's Isabella, and she's eating ice cream, and then they picture it as the vanilla being her mom, and then the chocolate being her dad, and then her just being in the middle and not able to find any peace of mind or peace where she can be herself. And again, there's another little thing right here. I'll read it to you. This is what people tell her at school. You're so exotic. You look so unusual. But what are you really? And that's the thing that she's trying to find out, what she is actually. Okay, now these are the true historical realistic fictions. Let me begin with the latest one. Did you guys know about what happened at 9/11 and you genuinely want to know what happened in it, then this is a perfect book. Okay, and this happened in 9/11, meaning September 11, 2001. There was a strike for the Twin Towers at New York, by hijacked jets, and this actually has two stories in one book. So it flip-flops between a boy named Brandon who is visiting his father's work at the 107th floor of the World Trade Center, where the airplane comes out of nowhere and crashes, and then he's stuck in the middle of everything. And that is the September 11, 2001, 9/11. And then the second story that is included in this is from Afghanistan. This is about the second book. The second story is about Rashmina and how she's grown up in the shadow of war, about the Taliban and everything that she's going through. And that story happens on September 11th, 2019. So I think it's so fascinating that it's like two kids, the same day, different years, and that how nothing else will be the same. I literally read that off of here. But a great novel, True Stories, Ground Zero by Alan Gratz. And he's the best-selling author of Refugee, which connects me to the next book, Out of Hiding. So this is not related to America or Afghanistan. This is related to the Holocaust in Europe. So this girl's name is Ruth Gruner, and she is a child growing up during the Holocaust, and she and her family are trying to move to America. But of course, the Nazi doesn't want them to move anywhere, and they want to be and capture all of them. So it's just a story about how she survives and how she comes to America, and she comes out of hiding because she really needed to hide from the Nazis, and it's her story. And this is actually a real person, Ruth Gruner. Ruth Gruner is the author's name, and it's the person in the book as well. Out of Hiding, a Holocaust survivor's journey to America. And again, like Ground Zero, Alan Gratz has the foreword of this book. And so this is the foreword here, just a part of it, by Alan Gratz. And her husband also writes a story at the end about prisoner B3087. I haven't read this, but Alan interviews both Ruth and Jack Gruner and writes their combined story right over here. So if you guys want to read this, these are one of my most favorite historical realistic fiction books. I love these. These are amazing. And 19 million out of 10. Now moving on to the more educational books, which some of you guys might think are boring, but I like these. My current favorite subject in school is science. So I first wanted to get these books just in science, but then I got them in 4 different subjects. This is called the Everything You Need to Ace Science in One Big Fat Notebook. It doesn't really tell you who it is by, but yeah. And then this has many series in it, and it covers like all of the American topics which you need to cover, like motion, force, physics, chemistry, life science, and everything, genetics, everything is in here. And it's kind of like this, and they have quizzes, check your knowledge in the middle as well, and it's really nice. And it also has the periodic table of elements, helium, hydrogen, blah blah blah. Really like that. I'm on page 230. 240. Yes, I'm on this page currently, and I love it. The next book, these three I haven't started, because I've been reading this one. But this is the Everything You Need to Ace World History in One Big Fat Notebook. Same. It has everything that I'm learning in class, in school. Really helpful. Again, it has the same way. It has quizzes in the middle, and it's super nice. Next one, I'm not so excited for this. I don't really like computer science and coding, but this is the Everything You Need to Ace Computer Science and Coding in One Big Fat Notebook. Same concept again. And then the last one is the Everything You Need to Ace Math in One Big Fat Notebook. Same thing, quizzes and blah, blah, blah. So, those were the educational books as well. And those were all of the books that I wanted to show everybody today. And I hope this inspires you to read or get any of these books and just sit down and read about it. And the book in here that got me to reading was Out of Hiding, my most favorite book. So I really recommend you guys choosing some of these books and just reading them. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video. And if this is on, and if the comments are on, please make sure to comment down below as well. Thank you so much for watching. See you later. Bye-bye.